As night falls, Sawyer finds herself in a desperate situation. She's lost in unfamiliar woods, injured, without supplies, and being hunted by dangerous men. The bitter cold of a Kentucky winter seeps into her bones. She needs to find shelter, tend to her wounds, and somehow evade capture. Sawyer's ingenuity comes to the fore. She uses her limited outdoor knowledge to create makeshift bandages and find a semi-safe place to rest. But she can't stay in one place for long. Hollister and Buck are searching the woods, and they know this terrain far better than she does. The next day brings new challenges. Sawyer is weakening from her injury and lack of food. She's forced to drink from a creek, risking illness, but knowing she needs to stay hydrated. Every snapping twig makes her jump, fearing her pursuers are closing in. As Sawyer struggles to survive, we're introduced to Sheriff O'Doyle. He's investigating Sawyer's abandoned car, which has been reported by a concerned passing motorist. O'Doyle is an old-school lawman, deeply familiar with the area and its people. He senses something is wrong, but he's also cautious about jumping to conclusions. Back in the woods, Sawyer has a terrifying encounter. She stumbles upon a meth lab hidden deep in the forest. This is the true reason Hollister and Buck are so desperate to find her. She's witnessed evidence of their criminal enterprise. The stakes have been raised, they can't afford to let her leave these woods alive. Just when it seems Sawyer's situation couldn't get more dangerous, she encounters Lowell, a grizzled loner who works at the meth lab. At first, Sawyer fears him as much as her other pursuers, but Lowell surprises her. He's not like Hollister and Buck. There's a flicker of decency in him that Sawyer recognizes. Lowell makes a decision that will change both their lives. Instead of turning Sawyer over to Hollister and Buck, he decides to help her. He takes her to his remote cabin, treating her wounds and offering her a temporary safe haven. As they talk, we learn more about Lowell's background. He's a man who's made many mistakes in his life, but he sees in Sawyer a chance for redemption. Meanwhile, Sheriff O'Doyle's investigation is heating up. He's piecing together clues, realizing that Sawyer's disappearance is connected to the local drug trade he's been trying to shut down for years. But O'Doyle is also fighting battles within his own department. Some of his deputies are on the payroll of the drug dealers, complicating his every move. Hollister and Buck are growing desperate. They know that each passing hour increases the chance of Sawyer being found by legitimate searchers. They're also feeling pressure from their bosses in the drug operation, who demand that this loose end be tied up quickly and quietly. At Lowell's cabin, Sawyer is regaining her strength. She and Lowell form an uneasy alliance. He agrees to help her escape the woods, but he's also cautious of the consequences. Leaving means abandoning the only life he's known for years, and potentially facing his own legal troubles. As Sawyer and Lowell prepare to make their escape, tension mounts. Hollister and Buck are closing in, having found clues that lead them to suspect Lowell's involvement. Sheriff O'Doyle, too, is homing in on the area, following his own trail of evidence. The final act of our story is a pulse-pounding race against time. Sawyer and Lowell attempt to navigate out of the woods, using his knowledge of hidden trails and her quick thinking. But their path to safety is far from clear. Hollister and Buck catch up to them, leading to a violent confrontation. Sawyer must use every ounce of her strength and wit to survive. Lowell, torn between his old life and his chance at redemption, makes choices that will have lasting consequences. Sheriff O'Doyle arrives on the scene, but the situation is chaotic. In the confusion of the woods, it's not immediately clear who is victim and who is perpetrator. Sawyer must convince him of the truth, while still evading the very real threat of Hollister and Buck. The climax of our story takes place in the unforgiving wilderness of Rust Creek. Alliances shift, secrets are revealed, and Sawyer is pushed to her absolute limits. It's a test not just of her physical endurance, but of her moral character. Will she compromise her principles to survive, or find a way to emerge from this ordeal with her integrity intact? In the end, Sawyer's ordeal comes to a dramatic conclusion. Lives are lost, truths are exposed, and the peaceful woods of Rust Creek are forever changed. Sheriff O'Doyle begins to unravel the larger drug operation, promising future upheavals in the community. As our story closes, we see Sawyer emerging from the woods, forever changed by her experience. She's bruised, exhausted, but unbroken. The naive college student who took a wrong turn days ago is gone, replaced by a survivor who's discovered reservoirs of strength she never knew she possessed. This is ultimately a story of resilience, of the human will to survive against overwhelming odds. It's a reminder that sometimes our greatest strengths are revealed in our most vulnerable moments, and that even in the darkest of circumstances, hope and humanity can prevail. As Sawyer returns to her normal life, we're left to ponder: how will this experience shape her future? What ripple effects will her ordeal have on the community of Rust Creek? And perhaps most poignantly, how might any of us react if one wrong turn plunged us into a fight for survival? In the end, this movie is not just a thrilling tale of survival. It's a complex exploration of human nature, the blurred lines between right and wrong, and the unexpected connections that can form in the most dire of circumstances. It reminds us that in life, as in the unforgiving wilderness, nothing is ever as simple as it first appears. Thanks for watching this recap. Can you guess the movie? Comment below. If you enjoyed diving into the intense and suspenseful journey of Sawyer through the icy wilderness, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out and lets us know you want more content just like this. Don't forget to subscribe to Cinema Glow and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest movie recaps, reviews, and deep dives into your favorite films. We have plenty more thrilling stories and cinematic gems coming your way, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. Did you see that twist coming, or were you just as shocked as we were? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep watching, stay curious, and keep the glow alive with Cinema Glow.